Tantamount to extortion. That's how owners of guest houses in the Eastern Cape are describing the actions of government officials and others who have allegedly forced business owners to pay them a portion of their accommodation fees. The Border-Kei Chamber of Business says this has been happening for several years now. The modus operandi of these scammers is often to use travel agents to book guest houses that don't necessarily serve meals. After checking out, these individuals then demand a refund for meals that were either not catered for during their stay or food that the guests have rejected in exchange for cash. Many in the hospitality industry are calling on government and law enforcement agencies to intervene. Ronald Masinda reports.
When Nomthandazo Mkhazana left her job and opened a bed and breakfast 16 years ago, she wanted to prove that young black women could also succeed in the hospitality sector.
When I started, I was working as an accountant at the company called Leone. 2005, we were told the company was going to close, and we were told that in 2 years to come, the company is going to close, so we must start looking for a job. I told myself there and then that I, for one, I won't be looking for a job because it wasn't okay for me, because you get paid today, the 25th, the 26th, 27th, you don't have a cent.
The University of Fort Hare alma mater has come a long way since then. She's now the proud owner of several B&Bs in East London and is involved in other business ventures. But little did she know how dodgy some of her guests would be.
There were 50 for the whole week. And then they demanded 500 then. Then that 500 times 50 times 5 days. That was 125,000 rand, which I must pay them cash. I asked them one question: where am I going to get 125,000 rand? That's number one. Number two, and they said the others are borrowing it. Then I asked them who's going to pay, and they've got guts to give you some solutions. And then I asked them, then who's going to pay the interest? And they said the others who want business, they don't ask us that question because we are getting paid for your accommodation.
Khazana is not the only business owner who has to bear the brunt of this unscrupulous behavior.
So the travel agent books the official in a guest house, but the official tells that travel agent, I want to stay at maybe X, Y, and Z guest house, and if that guest house does not comply with giving cash back to the official, they cancel that booking.
Lizelle Maurice says that some in government are among the biggest culprits.
Because of the blatant corruption currently in the tourism industry, where government officials are demanding money from guest house owners when they check out, they want a certain fee back in cash the day that they check out.
The Eastern Cape provincial government says it is well aware of the scam and has urged business owners to come forward with information that could lead to possible arrests.
The Eastern Cape provincial government has noted with concern the practice of swapping meals for cash at some accommodation establishments within the province. As such, through Provincial Treasury, an instruction note was issued to warn government officials against this practice.
But the cashback scam is not the only problem that is giving the hospitality sector sleepless nights. Scammers have also found ways of using fake profiles on some online marketplaces that provide short or long-term homestays to scam guests.
There is a lot of fraud going on. Even if you're using a booking channel, booking.com, Travel Ground, Expedia, there is still room for fraud. We have a lot of guest houses that they say exist that don't exist. So we have many guests that arrive at our door thinking that have booked and paid for an establishment that doesn't exist in our street. and then they then have to go through the process of trying to argue and fight with Booking.com to get refunds.
Tourism plays a crucial role in the economy of the Eastern Cape, and unless appropriate steps are taken to deal with these problems, many businesses and individuals will continue to suffer. Ronald Masinda, East London.